Quick reminder, you can get 10% off Quest games by using my affiliate links below. There's a whole spreadsheet filled with links. Just find the game you want, use the link, and you get 10% off. And you can get $30 in free Quest cash if you buy a Quest 3 or Quest 3S using my affiliate links. More information in the description below. Today we're taking a look at my top 10 Meta Quest standalone co-op games that will have you and your squad working together to do everything from solving puzzles to shooting zombies. I'll try to include a little bit of everything. No matter what you're into, I'm sure you'll find something for you in this list. So grab your headset, get your friends together, and let's jump into my list. And the first co-op game on my list is an oldie but a goodie. If you've been into VR for any length of time, you've probably heard of it. It's DEMEO, and it's the perfect game if you're a fan of classic tabletop RPGs. DEMEO is an absolute blast. I can't emphasize enough how much fun this game is, particularly when you're playing with other people. It's like playing Dungeons and Dragons but with a VR twist that makes you feel like you're physically there at the table. Each player picks a character class, and together you explore dungeons, fight enemies, share loot, and tackle traps. The best part is that it's turn-based, so you can take time to strategize with your team, plan your moves, and pull off some epic strategic takedowns. It's one of those games where I am genuinely excited to see what's around the next corner and have so much fun chatting with my team to come up with a plan of attack. And that feeling of triumph when you defeat a group of enemies, a stage, or a boss as a team, it's really incredible and cannot be beaten. In keeping with our dungeon theme here, we've also got Dungeons of Eternity. This is another game I've sunk hours into. You could describe it as a hack and slash RPG co-op game where you and up to 3 friends can explore randomly generated dungeons across multiple game modes, meaning no matter how many times you go in, no dungeon run remains the same. Like any good co-op game, you can't just rush in alone. You have to team up with your friends to explore these procedurally generated levels, and the thrill of discovering new loot, leveling up, and facing tough enemies together, helping each other out during intense battles, is something I just can't get enough of. There's just something so satisfying about figuring out puzzles together, or having a team with different strengths working together in concert to take on the dungeon's hordes, and knowing that your friends have your back in every battle, or not, depending on how good a friend they are. It really is a true cooperative RPG experience, and like I say, one of the best co-op games I've played on the Quest. If you're after a sci-fi alternative to Dungeons of Eternity, then Into Black might be what you're looking for. It's a first-person action adventure that takes place on a mysterious alien planet. Now, whether you decide to venture alone or with up to 3 friends, this game offers a thrilling co-op experience, as you will explore alien landscapes together, which include treacherous magma chambers, eerie sunken caves, and dangerous alien nests. And in order to survive, you'll need to scavenge for resources, mine valuable materials, and craft powerful weapons. The rich story is only enhanced by the ability to bring 3 friends along for the ride. Arizona Sunshine 2 is my next pick. It's a post-apocalyptic zombie shooter. The full campaign can be enjoyed with a friend in a 2-player co-op mode, or you can join with up to 3 other players in 4-player co-op pooled mode. And as you can imagine, it's all about survival, exploration, and blasting your way through hordes of zombies. Arizona Sunshine Remake, the first one, is also a co-op experience, and one that I could recommend too. In fact, it's the first VR game I ever fully completed, and it still holds up to this day. So I can recommend either checking out Arizona Sunshine, the remastered version, or Arizona Sunshine 2 when it comes to co-op. The intense immersive combat, the gore-filled action make this a thrilling and unforgettable co-op experience for anyone looking to survive a zombie apocalypse with a friend by their side. And now this next game, Green Hell VR. Now that originally launched just with single player, and I remember talking to the developers back in 2022 before the game was even released about their plans to release a co-op mode. Now that co-op mode has just been released about 3 months ago, so better late than never, although it was definitely worth the wait. So in Green Hell VR, it's set in this unforgiving Amazon rainforest, and it's all about surviving the elements, and with the co-op mode it's about surviving together. You can play with up to 3 friends, although I've only ever played it with myself and one other person, but I imagine with 4 people it gets even better. And the co-op experience is fantastic because you have to strategize on how you're going to survive together, make the best use of your time, the most efficient use of your time. So for example, one person might go and start the fire while the other person goes to hunt and try to find some food, Or you could perhaps work together to gather the resources to make a shelter. Or perhaps you go out hunting together, one person with a bow, the other with an axe, working together to take down an animal for food or defend yourself from a predator. There's so many different ways to come at this game, and it's genuinely intense. You can find yourself lost in the moment, working with your friends, crafting tools, hunting for food, and navigating the dense jungle trying to survive. And when you and a friend are in the mood for something a bit more fast-paced perhaps, then CHRONOSTRIKE is a good choice. It's really the ultimate test of reflexes and teamwork. So if you've ever played Super Hot VR, you'll know what this game is about. It employs time manipulation mechanics, which basically means time moves as you move. Except unlike Super Hot VR, CHRONOSTRIKE obviously has a co-op mode. So you have to work together with your co-op partner to pull off perfectly timed moves, especially when you're having to sync up actions to clear waves of enemies. It also features other mechanics like blue enemies and red enemies that can only be destroyed by a blue gun or a red gun depending on what color they are. And it will give you the blue gun and your partner the red gun, so to make it so you really do have to work together in sync, literally covering each other's backs to clear the stage. So whenever I play this game, it makes every session feel like a true team effort. But sometimes you do want to play with a friend, however they might not have a VR headset. And that's where Carly and the Reaperman can come in. This is a co-op experience that's fun and light-hearted, but can still challenge your brain. And in this co-op experience, one player controls Carly, the adventurer, while the other controls the Reaperman, who can interact with the environment in unique ways. And players can join as Carly for free on PC or Mac. So if you've only got one headset, you can still play co-op, making this a very accessible co-op experience. But beyond that, the puzzles I find to be quite creative, and they also require quite close coordination between you and your partner. I love with this game how it gets you to think outside the box, finding clever ways to use your character's abilities through some of the trickier levels. It's also a game that will keep you laughing and having fun brainstorming with your friend, your co-op partner, as you navigate through increasingly complex puzzles. If you're after something like Carly and the Reaperman where you only need one headset to play, but you want to involve more people, then I can definitely recommend Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. The game's been around for a while and is still a fantastic experience that I can certainly recommend because I find it to be just a heart-pounding, adrenaline-filled fun. It's like being in an action movie where you're defusing bombs, but the catch is your partner has the manual to defuse it, and that's where the co-op comes in. So one person in the headset defuses the bomb, whilst the remaining people, you can have as many as you like, have a bomb defusing manual and are yelling instructions, trying to explain complicated symbols or color codes, whilst the person in the headset frantically tries to follow their commands. I found myself yelling instructions like crazy, trying to get the bomb defused before the time runs out, and the tension is real, especially when you're down to those last few seconds and the clock is ticking. It's the ultimate test of communication and your ability to stay calm and think on your feet and work as a team under pressure. But great co-op experience only requires one headset and you can have as many people as you like involved, making it a perfect party co-op game. Now we'll tone it down a bit, bring the adrenaline down a little as we explore a co-op game that's a lot more relaxing, and that's Puzzling Places. For those who love a bit of relaxation but a mentally engaging experience, Puzzling Places is perfect. It's essentially like doing a 3D jigsaw puzzle, but you're immersed in that puzzle, and you get joy not only from completing it, but from appreciating all the intricate details of each piece. And the more you put it together, the more that puzzle comes to life with sound effects that make it such a rewarding experience. I've spent hours with friends quietly working together, putting puzzles together in that 360-degree environment, and just really having a chilled co-op experience. There's no rush, just having a casual chat while putting a work of art together. It's a wonderful way to spend time with friends, connect with friends in a peaceful yet engaging environment. And if you like puzzles, another game that you should check out is Rooms of Reality. It's a co-op experience with up to 3 players, and it's perfect for anyone who loves escape rooms. You get a few different scenarios, from ancient temples to futuristic labs, and each room, each set of puzzles has been designed with collaborative puzzle solving in mind. So some might require you to split up and gather information from different areas of the room, while others might require you to interact with a physical object simultaneously. It can be played solo, but in my opinion, this game really shines in the co-op mode and is one of the better co-op experiences I've had on the Quest. The only drawback with this one is I think it's a little bit on the shorter side at about 5 hours to complete, give or take, depending on how quick you can solve the puzzles. But I do think if you enjoy puzzle solving and diving into different worlds with friends to collaborate, this game is an absolute gem. And now I just want to move on to those honourable mentions. Those games I think are great games, but for one reason or another just missed out on my top 10. And I'll start with Zero Caliber Reloaded and Zero Caliber 2. Both offer an immersive co-op campaign tactical shooter experience. What I like about this game series is that they offer a lot of ability to customise your weapons and use your custom creations to take on the enemy. And Zero Caliber 2 is the successor to Zero Caliber Reloaded, and it basically refines everything that made the original fun. And both of these games support up to 4-player co-op single-player campaign. And so both of these games come in as honourable mentions for a good tactical shooter co-op experience. And with that, also have Breaches. Now Breaches again is a tactical FPS action game, a bit like Rainbow Six. So the game pits two teams together, the Special Forces Enforcers and the Revolters, which are like terrorists. And whether you're breaching walls as an enforcer or setting traps as a revolter, the co-op gameplay dynamic will really keep you on your toes with customizable weapons, gadgets and a range of different environments. And a mix of teamwork, planning and action makes for a fun, high stakes tactical combat experience. The next game in my honourable mentions list is Guardians. In this game, teamwork and defence are key. It has a bit of a Halo vibe to it, Halo mixed with Starship Troopers. You have to defend your base as a group, protect your base in a kind of wave shooter style, but it feels a bit more than that. The maps are quite open and large. There's a large selection of things you can buy to defend your base, from turret guns to gravity guns and giant mechs. And it has this really cool real-time strategy mechanic, a bit like Command & Conquer, where you can actually command units in-game to do the fighting for you. And I've played it quite a few times, and every time I've had a lot of fun. But if you're looking for a shooter that's a bit less intense but still a lot of fun, then I can also recommend Crisis Brigade. This game relies on teleportation, so there's no artificial locomotion, so if you're a bit unsteady on your VR feet, then this can be quite a good, comfortable yet action-packed experience. It's essentially like Time Crisis but in VR. It's an intense high-stakes shooter where you and a friend can fight against waves of enemies. It has a very much of an arcade feel to it. It's quite a short game, but it is also very challenging and quite cheap too, and in my opinion worth every penny. And another game that's quite comfortable and lacks intensity because there's no artificial locomotion is Mothergunship Forge. It combines fast-paced action with a awesome creative weaponry mechanic that lets you build your own arsenal. This just missed out on my top 10 because I really enjoy the chaotic gameplay here when you're collaborating with friends to take down the enemy forces, and the creativity of creating your own weapons. And next is another shooter. It's After the Fall, a bit like Left 4 Dead. You and your team will face off against massive hordes of deadly enemies and towering bosses, all the while crafting and upgrading weapons to improve your chances of survival. The co-op gameplay is smooth, it's quite a polished experience. It has a nice blend of action and survival. After the Fall is co-op for up to 4 players, and it offers a decent heart-pounding adventure that's definitely worth diving into with friends. And finally, I want to finish off with a game that's not a shooter, and this is Cookout, a sandwich tale. So you and your friends go together to work in this fantasy-themed kitchen, preparing orders for customers. It's up to 4 players, and trying to prepare meals in time, racing against the clock, chucking ingredients to each other in an effort to coordinate everything going on in the kitchen. It's just chaos, it's pure mayhem, and real good, light-hearted fun. And with that, I'll leave it there. Remember, you can get 10% off any of these games in this list. Just check out my spreadsheet below and use those affiliate links for 10% off. Let me know what you think of the list in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about your favourite co-op experiences on the Quest 3 and whether there's any you'd add to this list that I have left out. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll hopefully catch you in the next one. Bye for now.